You ever think about quitting?
It's the combat of life hammering the snot out of you.
Well, stand by, dig in deep, and get ready to get fired up with us.
Welcome to the Team Never Quit podcast, the #1 podcast that inspires you to fight on. I'm your host, David Rutherford, here with Mr. Never Quit himself, Marcus Luttrell.
Our mission is to help you embrace the suck of life, to teach you the values of working your ass off, and to interview the most hard-charging people on planet Earth.
We know life is hard. It's time for you to suck it up, Buttercup, and let us teach you to persevere in every environment imaginable by sharing real-world lessons learned by those who never quit. That's right. It's time, Marcus, for us to help them defeat the negative insurgency in their lives.
You fire me up. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's roll.
Let's roll. Now, Marcus, my dream, my entire childhood, my entire life was to play football.
I thought you said you couldn't remember a part of that. And let's get back to the whole thing. That reminded me of another thing that you didn't know what jock jams were. What was that? Was that Andre's interview?
This jock jams thing, I still haven't looked it up, so I don't even know if it's real.
Because you came down with the buffer intro.
Oh.
And thinking about, man, them guys fire you up from inside that television set.
Oh.
For people who don't even watch boxing. I mean, if there's a big fight going on, and they come in, they get you fired up. Man, their personalities, especially Bruce, man, he can get away with wearing that flamboyant jacket and just being on fire.
He's on fire.
All the time.
Yeah.
I mean, he gets you fired up.
I love him.
God dang, man, that guy's all time. And that's why I can't believe you didn't know jock jams.
Well, I'm sorry. I was too busy playing football.
It's a damn jock jams, okay? That's the baffling part to me, is that I know you're a badass athlete.
So we got a killer show. It's about football. We got a great football player coming on. I'm stoked. But before we get into that, Wizard came up with our own kind of mad minute he's got for us, all right? And this thing is called That's Debatable. So he's going to fire off random topics at you and I, and we're either going to debate or agree on them. 30 seconds per. Are you fired up?
Yeah.
All right, because I'm a great debater, by the way.
What are we doing, Wizard? Toss it.
Gentlemen, welcome to That's Debatable. 30 seconds on the clock. Question number 1. Ninja versus pirate. Debate.
Ninjas.
Yeah, ninjas, yeah. Pirates are kind of wuss.
And ninjas aren't going to be out on the ocean.
Well, the one cool thing, though, about pirates... Hold on. At least pirates don't stay in one little area. They travel to 7 seas.
Yeah, no, they're badasses. Don't get me wrong.
They got out there a little bit.
Yeah, they can scrap.
Can I change my answer and go to pirates now? All right. Yeah.
When are they going to...
Because I think ninjas are a little reclusive. They don't get out and do their thing.
You're wrong, then.
All right.
That's debatable. Right?
Time. Question 2. Werewolf versus vampire.
Vampire.
Vampire. You know what? Underworld.
Oh, dude, that's what's in my brain right now.
Sorry, I was late to the party.
All I'm thinking about is Underworld.
When she's standing on that ledge.
Oh, dude. They can bite and live forever, dude. What was Lestat from the Vampire? What was that movie?
Talking about Underworld. That's that Interview with the Vampire.
Interview with the Vampire. Oh, dude, done.
Time. Texas versus Carolina barbecue.
Easy. Carolina. Sweet, awesome vinegar. Kills Texas barbecue.
That has to do with where you're born, man. Plain and simple, right?
Well, if that were the case, then I'd love Cuban barbecue or whatever. But
yeah, that's good barbecue too, right?
But it doesn't hold a candle to Texas barbecue. I think what it is
nothing holds a candle to Texas barbecue, just like you just said, right? I got him. I twisted it, right?
Shoot, I lost my own argument on that one.
Time. Question number 4. Dickies versus Carhartt. Debate.
Dickies. Hands down.
For what?
Because hear me out.
Are you out of your mind?
Here's what you can do a full work day, right? When I pulled beer on my cousin's beer truck. Hold on. I pulled beer off my cousin's beer trucks, and I wore Dickies, right? And then
you can't slack Carhartts off your ass.
When I finished, I would throw on my Chuck Taylors, put on my chain wallet, grease back my hair in a white beater, and I could go to a punk rock shop. So Dickies have style, bro. Carhartt,
I dig that style, man. I have. When you bring Carhartt into the whole deal, man, that's a working thing. Like outside on the rigs, just gnarly.
Time. Question number 5. Best A-Team member. Original TV show. Go.
Best A-Team member. Oh, original TV show. Face
You
Man.
a Face Man?
I love Face Man.
I love Face too, man.
Because he's like us. That's Corbin,
I
dude.
dig Face too, man.
Question number 6. Alien versus Predator.
Oh, that's tough.
Good one, man, yeah.
That's hard.
I'm a Predator guy because of the...
You are a Predator guy.
Remember, because I want to dress up like Predator.
Well, you just said we were going to go get costumes for like $1,000 each.
I hope we better own that son of a gun. It costs that much.
Well, you better be wearing that every Halloween for the next...
I'll wear it, yeah, every Halloween.
for the next 20 years.
I'll wear it on the damn show.
I have to say, because...
Those are great. Hey, man, they turned that into a hell of a fight deal because each one of their defense mechanisms offset the other.
Oh.
And it's literally who makes a mistake.
I just think that Alien is just... he's bad.
He is.
Yeah, Alien is just vicious.
He's just bad, dude.
When he pops out his stomach in the first one...
God, who invented the damn face sucker? What a horrible mental... just
image.
To know that exists on TV is disturbing, right?
And it's got to be out there for real.
It's coming at you with the deals going.
Time. Final question. College versus professional football.
Oh, that's easy. College. Hands down.
Yeah.
Hands down. Now, listen, don't get me wrong. I love pro football because I love what it takes to get there. I love the performance. It'd be like saying, there is a definitive difference. For personal enjoyment watching, I love to watch kids, still idealistic. But pro football, there's something amazing about it, right? There's something...
they're pros.
They're pros.
Well, to me, it's tough to compare those two because they are the pros.
They're the best of the best.
And in college, man, it's the whole atmosphere.
Yeah.
Right. That town, and the same way with the pro teams, the cities get behind it. But as well as I do, the college towns, man. Even if you're from one of them.
Penn State, dude, one of the biggest in the country.
If you're from a college that no one hangs around at on the weekends, man, they go to the football games.
Brother, Penn State would go from 85,000 people to 500,000 people on football weekends. It was insane.
Oh, yeah, man.
But pro, I'm saying there's something unique about how far they've pushed their profession. And that's why I'm so stoked for this show, because we've got an amazing guy who literally came from that small school that you're talking about, right, in the NAIA.
Oh, yeah.
And got the opportunity.
Man, even at them small schools, they get it on.
Oh, national champion, dude. And he worked his ass off because of this amazing, incredible work ethic that he has. And I can't wait to find out where that came from. But, and he got to one of the biggest teams in NFL, which is Dallas Cowboys. So let's bring him on the show. Without further ado, let's get old Patrick Crayton on now, huh? All right, Marcus, I just got to tell you right now, bro. I have to let you know, and I said a little bit in the lead up. I talked a lot about my passion for football myself. So the fact that this guest, our first official true football player that's coming on, I am unbelievably fired up, brother.
Texas boy.
Yes, and he's the Texas boy.
That actually means something to us.
Oh, I know it does, and it means something to me, too. It means something, too. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Patrick Crayton, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be on here.
Well,
we sound like we got to give you some decaffeinated.
It's like, hey, this isn't an act. It's like this all the time. He's really fired up like this. Hey, he does drink a lot of coffee, though, man. That is a great point.
So now I'm going to get weaned off coffee, right? I'll shoot somebody if somebody takes my coffee away from me. All right, so Patrick, what we do, but to just get loosened up so you can get a feel for us as just a couple of mugs trying to find out what the meaning of the never quit mindset is about, we're going to fire off what we call the Mad Minute at you. We're going to fire some fun questions.
Okay.
Just shooting them at you back and forth. First thing that pops in your mind, just go ahead and send them out to us. Roger that?
You got it.
All right, go ahead, Marcus. Fire away.
First car.
First car, 84 Honda Accord.
Nice. The Accord
We had a
again.
Camry the other day.
We had a Camry. Yeah, I love it. I love it. All right. What is your all-time favorite sports team?
Dallas Cowboys, sir.
All right. That makes sense.
That hurt your feelings?
It did hurt my feelings. I thought he was going to say something else. Maybe the Houston Oilers. I don't know.
I'm born and raised in Dallas. So
I know, man.
I grew up in it. So
That's another thing.
That's
another Texas thing.
It is a Texas thing. In Florida, we don't have like a real Florida team. Everything's all spread out, right? And Miami is the
Right,
team
yeah.
you love to hate.
If I could play on any team, it'd be Miami.
Just to live down there, though.
Exactly. I mean, can you imagine?
I don't know if Miami's a team that you love to hate because technically they haven't won anything since '72. That was before I was born, so I don't
That's a
know if I
great
love
point.
to hate them. You love to play there, but I don't know if you love to hate them.
Right. I want Detroit to win a World. Aren't you that? I mean,
Yeah, I cheer for the underdog for sure all the time.
we're way past the underdog with them guys. They're snake bit.
Oh, they
You're
are.
Right? They are. They're snake bit.
That hurts.
Yeah.
That hurts.
They're,
That hurts
they're
a
the
lot.
underdog of the underdog.
Oh my God,
They're under the dog.
Patrick.
It's like the Cleveland Browns.
Favorite helmet. Remember I told you that?
That's favorite helmet. All right, all right. Let's stop beating up on Miami.
I'm
Next
sorry.
question. Next question. All right.
Hey, Dwayne's he's a big Miami guy, man. He's a Hurricane too.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
So you
Well,
got
I love
mad love for them.
Yeah,
man.
but that was a different thing, man. I loved going to Hurricane games when Florida State and all that. Different thing, man. But going down to Miami, and especially when Dan Marino was playing, back when I was still playing,
Big Dan.
it was like he was my idol because but they never won. So we're gonna leave Miami. 'cause
Loved
it's-
him and Ace Ventura, by the way. All right, hey Patrick, you ready, brothers? Favorite superhero.
Favorite superhero? Oh wow. I don't know if I have one, dude. The Flash.
Nice.
I think that's the first one on that one.
All right, if you could pick anybody's brain in history, like sit down, spend a couple hours with them, chatting with them, talk to them, whose brain would you like to pick?
Oh wow. It'd probably be either Muhammad Ali or Gandhi.
Ooh, good ones. I dig it.
You'd be there for a while with Gandhi, man.
Oh my God.
Right?
Yes, you would.
Yeah, I know it. I know it.
He's deep, right?
He's super deep.
Man, I can't Ali. Man, I didn't like it when he died, man.
That was tough.
My dad, when I watch him fight, we're getting off. That was the only connection I have with my old man was that watching him
Was
fight.
watching Ali?
Yeah.
Really?
Love to talk about Ali fights.
Really?
Weird.
That is-
All right, brother. Movie character you like to play out in real life. So if you could become anybody in the movies and play, yeah, there you go.
I got to be Bruce Wayne. He was a billionaire, dude.
nice.
And
one.
Batman.
He was a single billionaire.
Dude, that's a great Bruce Wayne, right?
It's a great
I
answer.
throw
Batman.
Bruce Wayne stuff around here all the time.
All right, here you go. What is one of the best things that you've ever done in your life?
Best things I've ever done in my life. I think number one would be getting my college degree, and number two would be marrying my wife and starting my family.
Awesome.
All right, I got to know. I ask all the guys this all the time, man. College football or pros? What do you watch?
Ooh, I watch both.
Oh, okay.
I watch both.
Both
but,
religious.
I watch the pro football game a lot differently than I watch the college game. I actually watch the college football game as a true fan.
Okay, that's why I was asking, right? Because I ask all the guys when I'm down at Exos, when they're coming into the league, I'm like, all right, always remember what you like to watch, right? College or pros, and then keep that in your head. Stay young.
That's for
Look
sure.
at it differently.
Yeah, I'm watching it differently.
Yep.
So I would say I think I get more excited, I think, sometimes for the college games than I do the pro game, because the pro game I'm watching, and like a lot of the players, because there's free agency and teams and guys leave from team to team and stuff like that. In college, man, that's where you went. And that's what you cheer for, and that's what you believe, once you leave there. So
The whole town is just, y'all are the gladiators for that town. Everybody shows up to watch them fight the other gladiators, right? In the arena. I get stoked just talking about it.
yeah.
All right. Well, that's a great segue into the next section. And one thing we just got to give a shout out to TK from PX3 Sports for hooking us up with you. And just really, we're really thankful for you to come on, because one of the awesome things about the show is, the reason why we do this, Patrick, is to show our guests and our listeners out there who, how you discover the never quit attitude, how you realize, to keep coming back, to never quit, to never get up in the face of all adversity. And man, when I called TK and I said, "Hey, TK, listen, I need somebody. I'd love to have a professional football player that really understood the struggle of coming out of college, getting into the pros, the whole deal, even struggle just playing football, the whole deal." And he was like, "Man, I got the perfect guy, Patrick." And it was that instantaneous. So, let's get into what the listeners want to hear from you. And if you could, can you please share with us your greatest never quit story?
You know what? I don't know if it's just a single story. I think it's more of kind of my life in a nutshell from the time after graduation and from high school to, up to now.
A lot of the athletes say that same thing. A lot of the athletes, when we're asking them that question, and they're like, "You know what, man? Damn, it's a lot." So,
yeah,
have at it, brother. Let's hear it.
So I'll give you the shorter version versus the longer version, because the longer version we need to sit back and have drinks and cocktails and maybe some steak or something like that to hear the long version.
That's a given. That's a given.
Yeah, short version. Coming out of high school, recruited. I signed with Texas Tech coming out of high school. Well, because I didn't, take care of my books when I was in high school. I just tried to do just enough to try to get by. It didn't work out, basically. Test scores were great, but Texas Tech decided, send him to JUCO. Let him get his GPA up, everything, and stuff like that, get some experience. It'd be good, get just to the college life. So I decided late that I was going to go ahead and go to Tyler Junior College. I think I decided probably in July.
Oh, wow.
And by that time, they were done with their scholarships and stuff. Okay, fine, that's fine. I'll come down there. I'll just go to school for a second, and I'll walk. I'll come on in the spring. Not a problem. Well, I got down there basically, man, and I hung out and didn't take care of my books down there basically. Hung out and I chased tail. Basically, that's all it was to it.
I did that in college.
So I'm back at home. Yeah, I'm back at right. Yeah, I'm back at home the following year, man. I'm back underneath my mom's roof, and she basically gave me the ultimatum. She was like, "If you're gonna be here in this house, you're gonna work, or you're gonna get back to school. It's gonna be one or the other." So, I went to work at the time, man, and, I just really dreaded being back under my mom's house. You don't have the independence. You got to go back and follow those rules and all that stuff. It just really mentally, it just really got me.
When you come back under the roof, they're cooking for you, like, "Hey, what time are you going to be home?" Your mom's asking that, right? So it's like back to
exactly.
being a boy. I mean, the responsibilities are kind of
regression,
right? And it starts to eat at you,
right?
The guy who has that true spirit, a man, it eats at him.
Yeah, so it was just absolutely just like crazy. And then that's 99 is when I, basically that's when I got saved. Actually,
really,
honestly, my one of my best friend. We started going to this church, IBOC, which is in Dallas, and that's why I really just kind of like opened up, because I was, I grew up in the church and everything, but I don't think I ever listened and opened up completely.
Was it one sermon? Was it one particular? Did it happen over time, or was it an aha? I got to do this.
It was just that aha, just kind of like you have your wake up moment, and the switch actually goes from off to on.
That's cool.
And the ears pop open instead of just you're not listening with your eyes by seeing this move. You're actually hearing everything by letting the ears open.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah, I took it in. I got saved, and I was like, I told my mom, I said, I'm going back to school. I don't know where I'm gonna go. I said, I'm going back to school, and wherever I go, I want to go back, get in school, play football. I said, regardless, wherever I go, I said, I'm gonna leave there with my degree.
Nice.
So my college coach is crazy how it just kind of how God works. My high school coach gives me a call. It's summertime. It's probably like June. He goes, you still wanting to go back to school and try to play ball? And I was like, yeah. I said, did somebody call you? What's going on? He's like, well, the coach from Northwestern Oklahoma State called me. And they said they're looking for DBs. People don't understand this. I was coming out of high school. I was a safety. I was recruited as safety.
Okay.
So he was like, they're looking for DBs. They need a DB. He said he's interested in you. He said, I don't know much about the school other than, it's a chance for you to get back to school. They got a good football program. I said, cool. I'm in. Sign me up. I'm in. I didn't take a visit or anything. I said, just let me know when I got to show up. When I got to show up for fall camp, and that's what I did. I showed up for fall camp, man, and I got there first time on campus, and it's a true culture shock because you're coming from Dallas, huge metropolitan area, and I'm coming to Alva, Oklahoma, which is a town of about, I think at that time, maybe 6,000 people.
Oh, wow.
Oklahoma.
So it was a true culture shock. I'm coming down the main street, and people are like waving and everything, because I think if you get here and you realize that time, like, the only black people that are in the town actually are sports people.
Really?
They're athletes.
Wow.
So it's not black people that live in the town. So it was just, they're waving. They're like, okay, you got to play sports. We're going to wave, welcome into town and stuff like that. So Mom dropped me off, man, and that started my story of just another chapter in my life. When I say it was probably the best decision as far as getting my life going that I've ever made, it was the right decision, the perfect decision, and that's where I honestly believe, God's like, there's certain places you got to be put in order to do it. And it's not going to always be the place that you think of. It's going to be the place that he wants you at and the place that's needed for you. And this was the place that I needed to be at.
Well, the remarkable thing is, and it's rare that when you hear somebody describe that really profound, like, this was the place I belong. This was the place that I needed to be. Everything, God paved the road for my success. It's rare in life that you can see how you can quantify that. But in 4 years, Patrick, you amassed 5,688 all-purpose yards. I mean, so at least from an athletic perspective, you destroyed, what was normal. So how did it translate in your scholastic career and the relationships you made? Was the same amount of success happening all around you?
Yeah. It was crazy because, like I said, when I told my mom that I was going to leave with my degree, I truly meant it. I wasn't just blowing smoke.
Cool.
So I finished when I graduated. I graduated with 3.12.
Wow.
So, which is huge coming from someone that didn't, take care of his books in high school to leave college with a 3.12.
It's amazing.
And it was just a big thing, man. It was serious. I was proud to be the first male graduate in my family.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, what I was thinking about when you were talking about that, I was like, you were following a path in your life, and then you hit a kind of a dead end, and it made me think, like, hey, if you ever hit dead ends in life, man, you didn't finish something, training or whatever it was in the path you were walking to get to there. I mean, you need to go back and finish it. Maybe that's why you hit the dead end. And when you went back and told yourself, finish your degree, it not only does it catapult you out of where you're coming from,
the kickstart to get back in it, right?
Because when you're younger and you're coming through and you stop and you don't finish it, and then you go into something else bigger that further down the line. Yeah, you follow me? I'm not.
No.
Patrick, sometimes I'll hit some
a dead end. But what he's saying, what's remarkable to me is that it was you had hit that dead end, but by getting saved and having God and Christ in your heart. And that conviction,
you had to get pulled backwards a little bit
to
in
go
order to get
forward. Right? Is it? Did you? Were you still attending church on a regular basis? Was it still a huge part of your daily routine during that success?
It was still a big part. I was a member here at the school. We started FCA, so that was huge. That kept me kind of still involved, and always with other people like-minded.
Right.
So that was a major thing. One of our coaches had the same type of mindset, and he said, I'm not going to let you falter. And like the head coach here at the time, Garrett Higgins, who's at Emporia State now, he was more like a father figure.
Oh, wow.
So he kept me on the straight and narrow, didn't let me slip or anything like that and stuff like that. And I think honestly because he was scared of my mom. But he probably that was probably a major factor in it. But he was scared, so he was like, I know if I let you slip, your mom is going to be on my butt. So I'm not going to let you slip because I don't want her on my butt.
Well, I think the love he had for you, and because if he, as a dedicated Christian, and he saw
No, it was his mother.
Yeah, you know, without a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
My mother's like her, so I mean, it's kind of one of them deals when guys say like my mom, man, she might get mad a little bit. Most people's like, oh, ain't no big deal. I can't. No. When they get mad, you're going to hear about it and feel it in a whole wrath. You know, like this is your fault.
Yeah.
I mean, when a Southern woman blaze into it, brother, you're done. Dude, you can't do nothing.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, I love it.
All right, so when you got towards, I mean, you really lit the field up. You really came into your own. It seems athletically. I mean, and what you were doing. I mean, to be able to score, touchdowns, passing, receiving, rushing, kickoff, and punt returns. I mean, you became really the entirety of the offense, the leader in every way, shape, or form, the momentum, the energy. What was it like in your senior year, and when did you start to say, wow, maybe I can go to that next step?
You know what? Honestly, just to tell you this, I didn't think about it. My junior year, my coach said something about it. And it wasn't even thinking really about, like, the next level. Of course, it's in the back of your mind, and okay, whatever. I'm not even thinking about going to the next level. My thing was, at our school, we had built a tradition of winning. When I was in college, I was part of teams. We went to 3 national championship games.
Wow.
We won one. We lost the other 2, but it was about winning. So it was about, how can we keep going? I want to get back to the national championship game my senior year. That's all I had on my mind. All I had on my plate. So that summer before that, like literally, I mean, when I say I busted my butt doing what I had to do, and it was like there was no workout partners or anything. I did everything solo by myself because it was like I can't wait on anyone to try to achieve something that I'm trying to achieve. I got to be a self-motivator and a self-starter. That's number one. I try to tell like kids whenever I talk to students and stuff like that, younger kids, high school, junior high, I say, man, you can't depend on this person next to you to do what you need to do. That he can motivate you a little bit and he can kind of push you. I said, but if you can't push yourself without him pushing you, I said, you're not going to achieve, because at the end of the day, when you get ready to make a catch, you can't use his hands to catch the football. You can't use his arms and legs to make a tackle. You have to make that yourself.
Yeah,
that's huge.
So what you got to do is you got to get started and be a self-motivator. Your expectations for yourself are never going to be, they're always going to be higher than the person that's next to you.
Interesting.
They're going to expect certain things, but your expectations are going to always be higher than what they expect from you.
Where did you first discover where like that the clarity of that requirement and how you perform and how you function best? Where did you first realize or hear it from someone, or like where the light bulb went off saying, hey, this is on me. I need to be accountable to be elite, to be great. When did that start for you, Patrick?
Yeah. 99, when I got saved.
That was it. In that moment,
that a lot of stuff that was going on in my life had nothing to do with anybody else. It was all on me and decisions that I made and chose to do. Had nothing to do with anybody else. Nothing else. Nobody else forced me to do certain things. It was all the decisions and choices that I made. Had nothing to do with it. So I was like, you know what? My decisions and choices, obviously, they got to change, because I can't keep doing that. If I'm trying to get somewhere and be successful in life and make my family proud, I can't keep doing that stuff if I want them to be proud of me, because it's not going to work.
Wow, that's awesome. All right, so you finish, in this illustrious career. Tell us what happened next.
2004. It's after the season. It's starting to prepare for the draft, and like it was a proud day because I had like the largest turnout of scouts I think that we had in our school history for a pro day. I think there were 18 teams that came.
Oh wow!
To watch me work out that day, and it was crazy because the day they came, God had said, you were gonna have a rainstorm. You're not gonna be able to go outside. You're not gonna be able to go outside. It's going to be rainy and cold. You're not going to be able to go do anything on the field.
Yeah, it's cold. It's tightening muscles up a little bit.
And everything. Yeah, I had to do all my workouts and everything in the gym.
Oh, wow.
My 40, my everything and stuff. So it was just crazy how that all panned out. And it worked out somehow. And they were just like, hey, I think we've seen how he plays football player. Talking to my coach and everybody else, they knew I was a high character guy. I know trouble, stuff like that and everything. They knew, from watching and talking to my coach, leadership was there and everything. And it was just crazy how my agent, Fred Lyles, had his connections, and it was just a major preaching point. Like, this guy is not what you're used to coming from a tiny school. He's got the it factor, I guess, that you guys may be looking for. And, hey, take a chance on him. It's just funny hearing that, talking to, some player personnel guys and everything before the draft. A lot of them were like third round, fourth round. I was like, okay, dang, I didn't think it was going to be a high, but okay. Hey,
all right.
Yeah, draft weekend come, and I go seventh round. And I literally wrote down every person's name that got drafted before me, the whole draft. So all 215 guys that got drafted before me, their names got wrote down in a notebook, team that drafted them, everything. So as you can see, all this fire and everything, this chip on my shoulder that's developing, because I'm pissed at this time, honestly. I'm literally just fuming because I'm like, really, that guy went before me? Not saying anything about that certain person, but in my mind, I'm thinking, you know what? I'm better than that guy. I think I've shown on film I'm better. But okay, I'm coming from a small school, not a problem.
Pride was climbing in you.
I went with two chips on my shoulder when I get to training camp.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that my mindset was, everybody was like, hey, man, you got a good chance of, making the 53. That wasn't even remotely in my mind. I said, I never wanted to make the 53. I wanted to be one of the guys on the field producing and helping the team win. That 53 is just, that's a roster spot. Roster spot has never been in my mind.
Right.
To me, that's underachievement. Yeah. That's underachievement. Like, people can always say you can overachieve.
I can't even be on the team.
Thing is overachieving. Yeah, as I said, there's no such thing as overachieving. That's called reaching your potential. So now you can underachieve, but you cannot overachieve. There's no such thing.
Yeah, underachieve yourself, right? Yeah, it's the goal you set for yourself is goal for I set myself. Yeah. That's where you think you can go, not where you assume you can go.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So that was always my mindset.
Well, we see those guys. We see those guys come into buds all the time, right? In our training program, where it's like, there's an expectation that they're going to do the bare minimum, that they're going to, just skirt by, right. That they're going to do enough to just make it. And they all quit, they all go away, they all break mentally. And it's remarkable that, when people are in that, in that spectrum of performance, that they can allow themselves to lower that standard or adjust what the performance threshold needs to be successful.
They didn't want it bad enough in the first place, because when the pressure's applied is when all that stuff starts going away. You start peeling it away, and then what he was talking about earlier, we can get to this later if you want, but hitting at the national championship, eyes on, what the end game is. Just like we knew graduation was the end game, right?
Yep.
But you can't focus on that the entire time. Right. You lose sight of it. So all I need to focus on is this push-ups I'm doing right here. You know what I mean? And eventually, once I do enough push-ups, pull-ups, I'll get to the end game. Time will dictate that.
Yeah, exactly.
So Patrick, now you've been drafted, you're seventh round. You're that pride has climbed into your mind a little bit. It's gnawing at you. You got that chip building. What happened? How did you shake it? What happened next? And how did you end up earning that spot, playing for the Dallas Cowboys?
I think one thing I had was, like, I've always had, like, the old school mentality. Coming from a small school, we had 3 days. Or 1 2 days. We had 3 days.
Texas Heat. Awesome.
So it was like, and then I had probably the best coach, what I'll consider, best coach as far as getting the most out of his players by knowing how to connect with the players and pushing buttons, Bill Parcells.
Wow.
So that was excellent that I had him my first 3 years in the league, because it laid the foundation of what you needed to do in order to be successful. And I had great veterans ahead of me. I had Terry Glenn and I had Keyshawn Johnson as my receivers when I came in. And Terry Glenn, made the point because Parcells told him, he said, wherever 83 goes, I better see 84 right behind him. So wherever Terry went, I better have been right there behind him if Parcells was going to be there. He better see me coming in right behind him or right next to Terry.
I've heard that about Coach Parcells. He's that type of coach. All his players, man, and they brought him in somewhere because of that. They're like, yeah, man, players just respond to him real well.
Well, he's got the wooden perspective, right? Yeah, he's got. I mean, he's cut from the John Wooden class of coaches. Is that you take the player, you escalate and you pull as much as humanly possible at that player. Now, they might not be the superstar. They might be the spot player. They might be, the off the bench player. They might be whatever. Right. But they will, in that space, they will perform at their highest capacity. And that's remarkable.
Yeah. So you could see what the talent was.
And that's what it was. And that's exactly what it was. Yeah, he's got that knack for bringing it all out of you and making you hit your potential. He's not going to let you underachieve. If you're going to underachieve, he's not going to have you around at all. Because if he sees something in you that at that point maybe you're like, God dang, shoot, whatever. If he sees it in you, he's going to bring it out of you. So either you're going to step up to the plate or you're going to sit in the dugout and watch everybody swing. That's just the way it was. And then the way he connected, because whenever we would have our conversations out on the field sometimes, whether it was like, say it's special teams period, we wouldn't even talk about football. He'd ask me about things in life. How you doing, kid? What kind of car you driving now? Like, Coach, I got a truck. What kind of truck you got? Nice truck. It's a nice truck. Hey, don't go around here blowing your money on all that fancy stuff. You haven't made any money yet. Take your time. It's gonna be all right. Be good. Take care of your family. So you got a girlfriend? What? Yes, sir. I do. Okay. Well, how's she dealing with the with the change and everything? I'm like, well. First time I've heard, talk about how, the significant other is dealing with, playing and, dealing with being a professional athlete, significant other. It's like, okay, wow, we're not even talking about football. So that's when it came to, you're not even thinking about football and feeling depressed. You're just out there playing now.
Yeah.
He takes it off you because he understands the humanistic perspective of all the pressures of being a professional athlete.
Well, ultimately, he was the leader on the field because what that does is it takes off the pressure off of the players and puts it right on him. So as a good coach, that's what he's doing. He's walking around, he'll see that pressure somewhere. Military leaders do that as well.
Well, great skippers, right?
Exactly.
I remember my first skipper at SEAL Team 1. He's a former Damnick guy, and he would come out and we'd do these mock training missions or these FTXs. And he would, next thing you know, they're getting ready to jump out of a C-130 and the last guy in the stick and the line jumping out, he'd turn around and there's the CO, the skipper, all jocked up carrying a belt-fed machine gun, and he's going to jump in as just like he's a door kicker. And that kind of camaraderie, the awareness of what guys are going through and the ability to propel performance in all those ways, it made our team better. It made it more cohesive and that we knew he was carrying the burden.
Oh, and DeGhetto was standing there when Halfley got shot.
Right.
I come running up there, and my skipper's standing right over the top of me. He goes, "Let's see what you got, kid." I mean, God, I hope you took all the pressure, skipper, because you know what I'm talking about. I was like, that's good. He just stood there like he should.
Yeah,
I mean that cool. In the face of someone, someone just got shot and is dying. He's just standing there. Let's see what you got.
That's cool. Well, Patrick, when you get those great mentors, because not only your coach. But also, I mean, working with the guys that you had around you, I mean, these are some of the legends of Dallas Cowboy football, legends in the NFL in terms of receivers. What kind of messaging were they teaching you that then, you've kept with you and now you may teach young kids or whatever? What were those core messages that they were sharing with you?
Their biggest thing was they showed me how to be a professional. What it took to prepare on the field is more important that you had to do off the field to be ready to even step in between those white lines. It's the small little stuff. Make sure you take care of yourself eating wise and in the weight room and cold tub and treatment and everything you had to do, film study, everything. It's the little bitty stuff that a lot of people never hear about and never gets talked about and preached about, on radio or anything like that. It's the small stuff you do. So they taught me how to, Wednesdays and Thursdays were our long days. So Wednesdays and Thursday nights after I left the complex from watching practice and everything and stuff, I would take our DVDs that they would make for us, and I would go home another hour and a half and just watch film with the opponent.
Cool.
So it was all about knowing. You got to know your opponent better than he knows himself. So you know exactly what to expect when he lines up across from you. So nothing comes at you as a surprise. And then you can go out there. You can just play football. You ain't got to do all that thinking. You can go out there and play football. Okay, this is what we got. We got third and 7. You know they like to do this. They bring a certain blitz. They're gonna play this defense on 3rd and 7. Bam. These are the plays that we got in our play sheet for this week against 3rd and 7. That's what we're thinking about thinking. So a lot of times we be in the huddle, and I would know what play was going to be called by down and distance a lot of times. And when he would start to play, I would finish the play. Me and Whit, no lie, we would finish the play most of the time. We finished the play back then. We already breaking the huddle. And we'll do it. We're going to communicate with the other. So that film study that I learned and how to dissect defenses, I was able to pass it on to guys younger than me that would come in. I'd be like, hey, watch this right here. That's what they do on this certain play. On this one right here, this is what they're going to do. Watch this guy right here. This is what he does. If you see his feet do this stuff right there, watch him because he may be trying to quick jam you. If he's doing this, watch him because he's either going to try to fake quick jam and then he's going to bail. That's what they're going to do on his defense. Watch the safety. They like to rock and roll. So it's just so much stuff you got to put into it and everything to prep yourself to be great.
Well, if the senior guy who's been around does something like that, and you said the new guys, the rookies coming in, man, that's the standard. They don't know any different, right? You're coming in the pros, man, that's how you make the team better, right? That's how the team gets better. All it takes is a guy like you to slip into the team, even if no one else did that, and start passing it down to the new guys, and then it's standard.
Yep, that is the standard.
Well, and the cool thing, I think, like playing for the Dallas Cowboys or being a SEAL, you know, there's the legacy that's attached to it as well. So you're not, and the expectation of the organization, you know, they demand that prep work, that commitment level. You know, in our world, you know, that the standard for us are all the guys that we've lost and all the guys that have, you know, done the amazing things that they do. Our friends that are, you know, multiple Bronze Stars winner, Silver Stars winner, Navy Cross winners, all that. You know, that's the standard that we have to adhere to. And when that can stay and that becomes a focus part of the culture, you know, that really drives, you know, the overall objective. Did you feel that as a Dallas Cowboy?
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. You know, growing up in it, you understand the folklore almost that comes with wearing the star on your helmet. You're held to a higher standard maybe than some other franchises that don't have that history.
Right.
So whenever you put that star on, that star just attracts attention. So you are rehearsed on knowing that whatever you do, wearing the star for the Dallas Cowboys is going to be magnified 2-3 times more than, say, a Jacksonville Jaguar or a Cleveland Brown or someone that's in a smaller market is going to be magnified.
Miami Dolphins.
That much more. Miami Dolphins. It's going to be magnified that much more. So you had to be very, very cognizant of what you did outside of the complex, outside the field, whenever you were doing interviews, everything. It was going to be magnified. So you had to be careful to do what you had to do and kind of walk a line.
Oh, as soon as you put that star on, you're identified as a different person. You're a Dallas Cowboy.
Hands down.
Right. I mean, that's it.
Yep.
Uniform, oh, man, that's when... When they reference them, it's Dallas Cowboy. But you know what I'm talking about?
Totally. Absolutely.
Wherever they're at.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, I got a question for you. Did you ever, because you always hear the folklore about, making it to the NFL is one thing, but staying in the NFL is a totally different animal. Did you ever, as you hit that point where you're like, all right, I'm here, I can relax. I'm here. I've made it. I'm over that hump. And did you ever hit that, or did you just keep the focus and the drive and the commitment level? Or did you catch yourself at any time, having that ebb or flow?
I approached every season like I was going to get cut.
Wow.
Every year, that's how I approached the training camp. That's how I approached every training camp. I could be getting cut. I could be getting cut right now. People like, dude, you pressing, and just, God dang. He said, you do everything great and everything. You're going to be good, man. It's me I got to wear. Nah, brother. I said, they always bring in someone new, because they look and try to replace somebody.
Right.
Every year. That's the purpose of the draft. I said, I don't get younger.
No.
I said, the people behind me are always younger. Every year I get older, they bring in a younger guy. That's every year a guy has on me age-wise. I said, I have to know what I'm doing mentally and keep training harder and harder each year so I can stay ahead of you guys.
Yep.
Because mentally, you guys can't challenge me and will never be that way. So I have to mentally, I got to be stronger than you guys because that's my edge over you guys. You guys may be faster than me or whatever stuff like that, but mentally, you can't touch what I can do on this field.
I mean, we were talking earlier, you watch the pros differently now that you are a pro. I would imagine, and you watch college football for fun, I would imagine if there's somebody playing college ball that plays your position and that is really, really good, you'd be watching that a little differently too.
I am too. Yep,
With the college player?
The college player, because that's the up and comer. You can see them.
Oh, yeah.
In our community, we can't. We have no idea who's coming.
They show up at the team and
you watch this dude for 4 years, man, coming up.
Yeah, but our thing is, it's when you're in a platoon, you got a guaranteed spot, right? Well, not a guaranteed spot, but you got a spot in the platoon, and the draft isn't coming, right? You're going to get a small group of new guys. It's your deal to train them up, but it's not like they're going to.
You may not even get them. Yeah, right.
They're not going to.
That's a huge deal.
What I mean? They're not
exactly.
going to see the new guy isn't going to come take your position as the head sniper.
Correct.
Whereas for Patrick, that new guy,
which is crazy because of how much experience he has.
That's what I'm saying.
It doesn't even weigh in. But now that I've never even thought about it like that. I mean, he'd got to be on the team 5-6 years, putting out every season. Some kid comes up underneath him. That experience doesn't really. And
they spend $20 million or whatever crazy number it is.
They mean $20 million. I promise you I can run faster. I'll figure it out.
All right. So as you did progress in your career and you made the move over to San Diego, did the pressure change? Did your mindset change? Did anything change, or did you still say, I'm here and I'm going to give you everything I have, no matter what?
24/7, man. 24/7. Mindset stayed the exact same. New team means just a new challenge. And now you know what whatever I was doing that this other team knew what I could do and everything. This team here, even though they traded for me and brought me in, they still might not know exactly what I can do because everything can look different on film. When you get somebody in public in front of your face day to day, could be something different. And you know what? Now I got to get even more focused right now because now I got to see that and show them that whatever they traded for and brought me in, it was worth them trading for me to bring in.
Oh, well, we have that. I mean, in our community, too, you leave one team and go to the other, they know where you came from. And there's a reputation behind every team. And if you fall, depending on where you fall in, if you heaven help you fall in the middle of a workup or after a workup with us, I mean, the respect, you have to earn that respect in a short amount of time. And it's the same way with you.
Right.
I would imagine there's a reputation that follows being a Dallas Cowboy. And then when you get to the team, you have to deal with that reputation on top of you have to prove yourself, right?
Again, start from scratch.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what came with you, man, because all them guys in that team are jockeying for it too. So yeah,
right.
So one of the great things that I love a lot, because there is a lot of negativity that kind of confronts whether it's professional athletes at the highest level of their game, separating and going into civilian life. Whether it's in our world in the special operations community, it's a challenging transition. How has that transition been for you, and what did you do in terms of, all right, that's done. I'm going to redirect my focus into becoming an entrepreneur, to working with charities. How did it happen for you, and what advice can you give to other athletes that are doing it, or to military personnel, or to even people performing at the highest level in their career, transitioning into another? What great advice can you give them, Patrick?
I think that the most thing is if you realize that whatever your profession you're in, that, and especially with the one I was in, that this is not going to last forever. The vets taught me this, at a young age. Coming in, that this ain't gonna last forever. When you start playing a few years and everything, start thinking about what you're going to do after it. Start prepping for that and start preparing for that while you're still playing. So when you get done, you move in from the football field to the office or to wherever you're going to go into. You're already kind of prepared and you're kind of mentally ready to be like, okay, this one is done, next chapter. So business doesn't stop. You know, you're still going to have that daily grind, and you're still going to have that same mentality about, you know what, this is what I got to do to keep taking care of my family and providing for my family. And we just naturally, as athletes and whatever you're in, men, we just naturally have a more competitive nature than women. So men, we compete. We're going to compete with whatever. I don't care if it's a spitting contest or anything. Yeah, it doesn't matter what it is. We're going to compete. So now I had to take that same mentality from the football field that I'm going to keep competing. And this is something I want to do because that drive, you just can't turn a drive switch on and off. A drive is a drive. It has you. It has you going. It steers you. It's what that drive still pushes. Take that drive that you had on that football field and put that same passion, that same work ethic into whatever you want to do once football is done. And if you still have that same drive that you had on the football field and you apply it to the regular 9 to 5 stuff, you'll still be completely successful and keep continuing to be the same person that you are. Because it can't change regardless of your profession. It can't change who you are because you're still going to always be that person. But if you still have that same drive, you won't change
what you're doing.
Like, you just change what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, perfect, man. You realize, like, there's two types of people, right? There's the special people who can do anything, and then there's they're gifted, I guess, and then there's the ones that have to have the work ethic. And it's important to remember all that drive, whether it's gifted or it's a work ethic, as whatever you're doing your young adult life, being a football player or a Navy SEAL, that's just what you're doing. You are that already, right? It's
coming out of you.
That gift and that ethic, it's all pushed on one thing. So remember, when you get out, that part's not gone. And the problem is a lot of people like to shut it down because they call it a problem. They label it like that, it's called squared away. You know what I mean? You can focus it on something. Yeah. So take all that drive that you use to become the best Navy SEAL or the best football player and apply it into whatever it is anything. Because if you could be a professional football player your entire life or a Navy SEAL, you can be trained to do anything and take anything for that matter. So just remember, you ought to have a smile on your face when you come out of those fields, just like, it doesn't matter what it is, I'm going to do good at it.
Awesome.
That's it. That's exactly it. That's the exact mindset you got to have. You know, you gotta know, hey, the day doesn't stop just because it becomes nighttime. It's gonna start back over the very next day.
That is awesome. Well, Patrick, thank you so much. That wraps this segment up. We really appreciate it. And we're looking forward to get you on in the After Actions Report, and so you can tell everybody the how-to you approach with your everyday, your performance. We just can't thank you enough for spending time with us here on the Team Never Quit podcast. Great. So thank you very much, Patrick.
Man, I thank you guys. Man, you guys are great, wonderful. I appreciate what you guys have done for our country, man, and other Navy SEALs as well as all the armed forces. You know, because without the work that you guys put in, nothing would I ever done would ever been possible, and nothing, as far as the liberties that we have, wouldn't be possible at all, man. We still get to enjoy life every day. And every day I'm 6 feet above instead of 6 feet below. Man, a lot of that has to do with you guys. So I thank you guys, and I really, really appreciate it.
Amen. Well, you're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
What I love about that guy is how he proves the never quit attitude can shift on a dime. He literally hit that point. He had messed up. He couldn't keep his grades. He was distracted. He was selfish. All of a sudden, he finds the Lord, finds Christ, boom, shifts his entire life and gets dedicated to go to the highest possible level.
You hear me say there's those guys out there you can just stand next to and learn a lot from.
Totally.
Don't have to say anything. And every year when I go down to Florida, down at Exost, and the combine guys are coming in to go into the show, man, it's guys like this that come down and mentor them.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
What's that like?
I just like being a part of it, watching it unfold. And then after doing it for, I think, 10, 11 years now, man, I'm integrated in kind of the mental coach.
Yeah.
And I go down there for my own physical therapy, but we work out with each other, and we live in the same area. We eat together and stuff like that. So over the years, all the military guys coming in, and then you got these professional athletes down there working together and watching that unfold and watching how those guys get ready for that combine. Because it is, man, there's a difference. I mean, you got the best players out of college are going into the pros.
Right.
We were saying what the difference in that was, man.
It's such a high level.
And even the mental game changes. I mean, everything has to be at the highest level just even to get in there, to even get looked at. And it's because of guys like this that come down, like Patrick, that see past just being a player. We were talking about our careers as SEALs, man. There's an end game. Can't be one forever. Same way with sports, athletes. And to have as much fun as you possibly can while you're playing, then understand there's something after that you have to go do, then that's just priceless information.
Yeah, it is. So, we always like to close the show out and say thanks to everybody. So, Marcus, who are you thankful for in your life? And
I'd like to thank the good Lord for giving me my abilities, my friends for helping me find them. Thank you to my wife. I love you very much. And hey, thanks to all the athletes out there that get up every day and go through that grind, man, and push through all that pain and suffering just to give us those Sundays, right?
I love it. I'm thankful for the Lord, and I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for you, Wizard Marcus, for giving me the opportunity to do this show with you guys. And I'm thankful for being an athlete. I spent so many years of my life focused on that and have a deep, profound appreciation for what Patrick and all his brothers do out there and all the women out there at their highest level, too. I thank you all for providing that entertainment to us and the dedication, which translates to our listener. And I'm thankful to the listeners because what we're doing here is providing you an opportunity to hear the stories that make the difference in people's lives so you can taste some of that never quit mentality and begin to apply it in your life. If you want to hear more of those stories, please visit tnqpodcast.com or go to iTunes and subscribe to our show and have it on demand morning, noon, and nights, just the Team Never Quit podcast. And you too can begin to allow that spirit, that information to sink in so great stories can ignite the legend in you. I'm out.
Never quit. Team Never Quit Radio.